The War in the Air by Herbert George Wells. Of Progress and the Smallways Family. "This here progress," said Tom Smallways, "it keeps on." "You'd hardly think it could keep on," said Mr. Tom Smallways. It was long before the War in the Air began that Mr. Smallways made this remark. He was sitting on a fence at the end of his garden and surveying the great Bunhill gasworks with an eye that neither praised nor blamed. Above the clustering gasometers, three unfamiliar shapes appeared, thin, wallowing blades that flapped and rolled around and grew bigger and rounder. Balloons in course of inflation for the South of England Aero Club's Saturday afternoon ascent. "They goes up every Saturday," said his neighbour Mr. Stringer, the milkman. "It's only yesterday, so to speak, when all London turned out to see a balloon go over, and now every little space in the country has its weekly uppings rather. It's been the salvation for them gas companies. "Last Saturday I got 3 barrel loads of gravel off my potatoes," said Mr. Tom Smallways. 3 barrel loads. What they dropped as ballast. Some of the plants were broken and some were buried. Ladies, they say, goes up. I suppose we've got to call 'em ladies," said Mr. Tom Smallways. "Still, it ain't hardly my idea of ladies flying about in the air and throwing gravel at people. It ain't what I've been accustomed to consider ladylike, whether or no." Mr. Stringer nodded his head approvingly, and for a time they continued to regard the swelling bulks with expressions that had changed from indifference to disapproval. Mr. Tom Smallways was a greengrocer by trade and a gardener by disposition. His little wife Jessica saw to the shop, and Heaven had planned him for a peaceful world. Unfortunately, Heaven had not planned a peaceful world for him. He lived in a world of obstinate and incessant change, and in parts where its operations were unsparingly conspicuous. Vicissitude was in the very soil he tilled. Even his garden was upon a yearly tenancy, and overshadowed by a huge board that proclaimed it not so much a garden but an eligible building site. He was horticulture, under notice to quit, the last patch of the country in a district flooded by new and other things. He did his best to console himself, to imagine matters near the turn of the tide. "You'd hardly think it could keep on," he said. Mr. Smallways' aged father could remember Bunhill as an idyllic Kentish village. He had driven Sir Peter Bone until he was 50, and then he took to drink a little, and driving the station bus, which last...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?